It started some years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I attended a health fair, and like most men, you know, you go through the throes, you take the blood test. About 2 weeks later, I got a letter and suggesting that I see a urologist. That was frightening. I had been under the care of my general physician, and my PSA at the time was creeping up 1.8, 2.1. Don't worry about it, Fred, you're okay. However, their test came up a little higher than that, and that was disturbing because now I'm seeing a trend that's upwards of 2.8. So my wife said to me, well, you better do something. Well, you know, like most men, you want to postpone it, we'll deal with it. Well, I dealt with it. I had to face it because, after all, it was my life at stake. So I visited a urologist, and the urologist you know, put me through the throes of a series of tests. And a series of tests showed that I did not have prostate cancer at that juncture, but I had what's known as high PIN. And high PIN is like a precursor to prostate cancer. It's something you certainly have to watch. So I began a change in my diet regimen. Diet and exercise are always, you know, the answer to everything in the world, it seems. And she told me, yes, I had a female urologist, and she had suggested to me that I eat less fatty foods and have an exercise regimen and perhaps drop some pounds. And time had gone on and my PSA continued to go up. And at that point, we had to be more aggressive in our therapy, and I took biopsy. Biopsy had to be taken. And the biopsy confirmed that, yes, Fred Nurse, you have prostate cancer. And at that point, my wife and I had to make a decision as to what modality of care we had to take. Now, I'm under the care of a kinesiologist. A kinesiologist is a specialty medical profession that looks at long life extension as well as supplements and vitamins for health improvement. And he gave me a regimen that I followed, and the regimen was to drive down my Gleason index. And the Gleason index is that measurement used to identify how much prostate cancer exists in a person. And we were all hopeful and prayerful. However, I was too far advanced for those kind of interventions to have much of an impact. Well, when you start praying, oh Lord God Almighty, you pray like you never prayed before. However, it reminded me very much of, especially the night before I had to go in for surgery, of the evening with Jesus Christ in the Garden of Gethsemane. And each of us have our moments where we have to go into the garden. And yes, those that we ask to accompany us may fall asleep, but we have to stay vigilant and pray through our anguish in the Garden of Gethsemane.
Let me ask you.
Okay, guys, you're not going to like this, but I want to tell you honestly, the insistence of our women for us to go for medical checkups and care, listen to the ladies. Hear me? You may not like what she has to say, but listen to the ladies. The other thing, because women have a tendency of going to the doctor far more frequently than men. The incidence of prostate cancer in men over age 65, and I'm proudly part of the Golden Saints Network, okay? All right, it's like 80%. It increases phenomenally with black men in particular. Diet and exercise, you know, not eating fried foods, fatty foods, getting off pancakes, desserts. My kinesiologist advised me to do this. Fred, stop putting in your body anything that's white, which includes salt, sugar, and flour. That meant no cakes, no cookies, no pancakes, of course with moderation. And the only thing that's white that I put in my body is egg whites.
You know, back about a year ago, maybe almost a year to the day, I had slipped during a rainy evening over a metal grating, and I tore the cartilage in my knee, and I needed surgery in order to connect, you know, my upper leg to my lower leg. And, you know, after having the surgery, you know, I learned the importance of just listening to the doctors. They gave me directions, you know, to you know, get physical therapy, and then not just to get physical therapy, but per the doctor's instructions when I went home to do the exercises, take the medicines that they instructed me to take, you know. And I basically followed their instructions even though I didn't feel like it, you know. So it's important, you know, to follow direction. I think I became more aware of how I diet, more aware of the need for consistent exercise. I became more aware of, you know, basically, you know, getting more rest. I think I could have been more alert that night coming home if I had been, you know, eating, you know, different things, and if I had been, I guess, engaged in a more regular routine of exercise. The first thing that I would recommend is show up. Show up to the health fair. You know, a lot of the health fairs I know are followed by a men's meeting where they'll get a word, and a lot of people feel like it's important, you know, to come and get a word, but then after that, it's off to the races. People have a lot of things that they want to do, but it's important for us, if there's free screenings and free testing, you know, take advantage, because a man's health is important. You know, we need to be healthy to be able to work, take care of our families, you know, keep our homes in order. And if you're not healthy, you can't do those things. So show up. But then once you show up, they have screenings. I've been to many health fairs. It doesn't hurt.
You're saying show up and also participate.
Participate.
What the vendors are offering.
Participate. If you're going to be there and the tests and the screenings are free, take advantage. Because you know, when a lot of us don't have health insurance, and you can't get seen by a doctor. So take advantage of the free screenings and tests that are available. One of the things that was important for me in showing up at health fairs and taking advantage of the screenings was that I always learned something new that I can do to improve my health. You know, pay attention to what the doctors are saying when you're getting your screenings. You know, ask questions. You know, when they are giving you information on things that can improve your health, pay attention. Write it down if necessary. You know, there'll be information. There'll be brochures. There'll be flyers. There'll be websites. You know, take the information. Don't just collect it and go and hang it up, as I've done in previous health fairs. Take the time to read it. Go through it, check the websites, you know, and take advantage of the information and put it into practice. We can get all kinds of information, but it's only as good as you put it to use.
Guys, man up.